today I'm reviewing the Mad Hippie Vitamin A Serum. And really quick, I just want to say, purchase these products with my own money. So if you want to help keep the channel independent, check out my products at the Amazon link below. So today is Total Request Tuesday, and this is a brand I've been asked about a lot, and in particular their Vitamin A Serum. So I thought I would give it a review, so I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on it based on my Sarah score scale. So my first criteria is packaging, and they packaged this in a traditional dropper bottle. So I have a love-hate relationship with dropper bottles because it does expose a little bit of the product to air every time you open it, and just some of them, the older, and you should use these products up faster, but I've had it happen with suntan oils and things where the dropper gets a little bit disconnected from the bottle and makes it a little messy, but it's a decent way of packaging and affordable, so they've done a decent job with that. My second criteria is alcohol, and this does contain one type of denatured or a drying alcohol, which is, I'm going to mispronounce it like I mispronounce everything, Phenethyl Alcohol. I might have said that right. So that's a preservative and can also be used as a fragrance ingredient. The only thing is it's sixth to the last on the ingredient list, so it's not, thankfully, up ahead of a lot of the beneficial ingredients, so it's not as big of an issue. Interestingly, I've been looking up ingredient lists on Ulta's website a lot lately, and a lot of times their ingredient list that they have differs from the one, so I'm going by the one on the bottle. However, Ulta's ingredient list varies from this one, so I don't know. They're varying on a lot of different things, so I'm not sure if they're not updating it or things get changed a lot depending on research the company does and things like that, so Ulta might just not be up to date. So just wanted to point that out, because if you go and look at Ulta's website, it might be different. So thankfully that alcohol is sixth to the last, but in my opinion, it'd still be better without it or with something else in its place. So anyway, so on to number 3, which is fragrance, and that phenethyl alcohol can be used as a fragrance ingredient, and they also included bitter orange, so that has a little bit of a citrusy scent to it. That ingredient, I believe, is the very last one, so not as big of a concern. So it does have a very little bit of a scent, but it does dissipate almost immediately, so it's not as big of an issue, but people with very sensitive skin or sensitive noses would probably prefer it unscented. So it is not a synthetic ingredient, so because I know Mad Hippie uses all organic products, so ingredients, not products. On to number 4, which is the manufacturing location, and this is made in the US, so absolutely no issues with that. My 5th criteria is ease of use, and so if you're new to retinol, you're going to want to start using this every other night or every 3rd night until your skin kind of becomes acclimated to retinol. It doesn't contain actual retinol. It contains ester of alcohol, or ester of retinol. So, so you're going to use this every 3rd night till your skin gets used to it. I would use this after cleansing, toning, if you use an essence, after that. And if you use like another serum, probably after that, use this. And then the trick with this is you want to wait until it's fully absorbed, and it does take a few minutes to absorb. On the bottle, they say wait 10 minutes. I was okay waiting about 3 or 4. And then after that, if you use a heavier cream or any other thicker treatments, you can apply that after this serum. So definitely start out slow if you haven't used things with retinol before. And the ester they included of form of retinol is one that's proven to be less irritating and will cause less dryness and things like that than a different form of retinol. So, which is the vitamin A in the vitamin A serum. Vitamin A is what retinol's the proper name for retinol. So, so you shouldn't probably have any issues, but definitely start out slow. And if your skin is very, very sensitive or very, very dry, I might even recommend mixing this with a serum or mixing it with a moisturizer and then applying it the first few times you use it. But you shouldn't have many issues because that ester of retinol is not nearly as irritating as the regular form of retinol. So there's a lot of different forms of retinol. I'll have to do a video about those because there's a whole list of them. There's a lot of them. So the only other thing I want to say about that ester form of retinol is there's not as much research showing that that will help with wrinkles and things as the other form, the regular form of retinol. It's kind of becoming newer, and there's more and more research every day on it, but there's not as much research to show that it will reverse lines and things like that as there is to show the pure form of retinol or the regular form of retinol, because there's a lot of research with that one and not as much with this one. So I should note that. So if you have serious lines and wrinkles, or if you use a whole bottle of this and didn't notice a lot of effects, I'd probably go with something else. But this is a nice, good start for retinol if you haven't used a lot of it before, because the ester is definitely not as drying. So, and you can see it says to wait 5 minutes until fully absorbed, but what has it been? A couple minutes, and it's pretty much absorbed. So that makes it easier to use. I don't want to sit 10 minutes between every step. So, and I've got a lot of steps in my routine. So anyway, so easy to use. My 6th criteria is antioxidants, and they have photoceramides, which are ceramides from different plant origins, which is a good thing. Vitamin A, of course, the retinol ester. Safflower seed, so it's got a lot of other beneficial ingredients. At the same time, the ingredient list isn't very long. It's rather short, so it's largely typed, so you're not seeing everything in the kitchen sink in this product. So, but it's got some good beneficial ingredients in it as well. My 7th criteria is animal testing, and the Mad Hippie brand is cruelty-free, which is always a good thing. I think more and more brands are going there. So I just saw an ad for CoverGirl on my way to record, kind of bragging that they're now cruelty-free. So I don't know if one of the biggest brands in the world can do it. Everyone can. So my 8th criteria is performance, and I definitely found this one to be hydrating, more hydrating than a lot of other vitamin A or retinol serums. My hand looks very nice and supple. When you apply this, the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles will certainly lessen with the hydration and things. Over the long term, we'll see how this does, especially with that retinol ester, but it's got a lot of good hydration ingredients as well, and a lot of other beneficial ingredients. The ceramides are always great to expose your skin to. So in the immediate, it performs awesomely. Over several months, I'll let you guys know how it works, but so I haven't been testing it for several months yet, just about a month. So we'll see in the long haul, but certainly things are looking good in the short term. So my 9th criteria is the price, and this is the full size, which is 1 ounce, and it sells for $32. So it's certainly a more affordable form of retinol. It seems to be some of the more expensive skincare products on the market is the ones that contain retinol. I'm trying to think. Murad has their good retinol serum. I really like that one. That one's upwards of, I think, $70 or $80. Paul's Choice has good retinol, and that their main retinol, I think, is almost $60. So this one is quite affordable. And the nice thing is the fact that it's a nice liquidy serum. A little bit goes a long way, so the bottle will last you longer than if it were a thicker, creamy serum. So, and then my 10th criteria is the it factor, and had they not included that little bit of fragrance and that little bit of alcohol in here, I probably would have given it the thumb up for the it factor, but I really prefer things without fragrance and without as much denatured alcohol as I can avoid. So the nice thing is that fragrance dissipates almost immediately. I can't even smell it now. It's the last ingredient, so it's not as big of a concern, but I'm interested to see and try the rest of my Mad Hippie products. I've got a lot of them out there, so I'll definitely be reviewing those in the future as well. So overall, this got a 7 out of 10, which is pretty good. So I'm just glad they put that bitter orange as the last ingredient, because had that been a much higher up on the ingredient list, I probably wouldn't have even tried it, because my skin is so dry and sensitive. It doesn't like fragrance, and I'm sensitive to it as well. So anyway, so it's a product worth checking out in my opinion. So I'm interested if you guys have had a chance to try this out yet or not. And if so, what your thoughts are. So definitely leave a comment. I've got their face cream is probably the next one I'll be reviewing. So stay tuned for that as well. So anyway, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Check out nobsbeauty.com, and definitely check out the Amazon link below. I've got some of my products on there. So check those out. And I've got some new products coming soon as well. So stay tuned, and thank you so much, guys.